All right, hello and welcome back, ALEKS students. So this is another ALEKS topic that's called writing a chemical equation from a molecular movie. And this is a really neat little topic. We've got this movie that's the slider that we can move this along and we can sort of see what happens as these molecules collide. And I can see that there's a chemical reaction going on right here, right away. So basically what we're looking for is for a collision. So for any chemical reaction to occur, the molecules actually do need to just bash into one another. And that, starting to visualize these small particle representations is a really important skill as we're learning chemistry really for the first time. So basically, I'll draw your attention to this H2. So looking at the key, we've got an H2 molecule here, and then we've got a C2H2, C2H2 molecule here. Watch these two as we collide. So here they're coming close. They collide right there, and we form a new molecule, C2H4, right? So we form this new molecule here. So that tells us right away a chemical reaction has occurred. We can sort of keep playing this. We can take a look at the other chemical species here, just to make sure that nothing else is going on. Looks like these two came close to colliding, but didn't. Oh, look up here, they did. They collided up here. I didn't notice that one at first. So up here, we've got a collision between the C2H2 and this H2. And they collide to form this new chemical species here. So two different chemical reactions, the same chemical reaction are occurring. These hydrogens are just sort of out for a party. They bounce into each other there, collision, but no reaction as well. Okay, so yes, we can say right away a chemical reaction does occur that is represented by this collision, new chemical species being formed. Now we got to write out a chemical reaction. So basically, the way that I would do this is I would just focus on one of the chemical reactions, one of the collisions, and then make sure it's the same, right, for both, because it should be. So essentially, because this is the one that I saw first, this is the one I saw first, I'm gonna focus on that one. So basically, I'm just gonna start writing out what is there to start with, and then what it goes to essentially after the reaction. So I'm gonna start by writing in H2. Make sure we put in our phase labels. So these are all a mixture of gases, so we should put in our phase label for a gas. That's going to react with C2H2. Again, that is a gas. Then we get a chemical reaction. So this is sort of what's showing at the very beginning. And then that's going to turn into this new chemical species here, which is C2H4, H4. Also a gas, and that really should be it. That's all we really need to focus on. We just need to sort of write out what that chemical reaction is. The same chemical reaction is occurring up here, and that's okay. We don't need to pay too much attention to that. And then the last thing we want to do is just make sure that this is a balanced chemical reaction. So let's go ahead and check that one. I think we'll do it one more. We'll do another practice one. We're in review mode here, so we can just do more practice. See if we can do one more. So here again, we've got these carbon and hydrogen things. Let's go ahead and play the movie. And first time through, you might be tempted to go like this the first time through, but the first time through, I'm just going to play it slowly and look for collisions. I'm watching where there's collisions to see if there's anything happening. So here I can see another collision is going to happen, and it doesn't look to me like anything happens during this reaction. During the playing of this movie, nothing actually occurred. The orientation was wrong or whatever. The conditions were just not there for this reaction to occur. So for this one, we're just going to click no, and that's it. One way to check to make sure is we could count how many different species we start with and how many, and what they are. And then at the end, they should be the same. So I see 4 hydrogens here. I see 2 of these C2H2s. 2 of the C2H2s, and then 2 of these C2H4s, 2 of the C2H4s. So no chemical reactions has occurred in this little movie for sure. Why don't we do one more just for good measure? Maybe we'll get some different colors in this one. Yeah, there we go. So here we've got some oxygen stuff, O3, O2. We've got some NO2, NO2, and NO3. Let's play this movie. Again, first time through, I always go slowly to look for those collisions. And there we go. So here we've got a collision that's going on right in the middle here where we are O3 and NO2, and then we collide. that's collision theory. If you haven't talked about that yet, you will talk about that eventually. That is sort of how these reactions occur. We have a collision. Now we've formed NO3 and we're left with O2. So that again is a chemical reaction. So let's click yes. Going into the collision, we start with an O3. So let's do that first. O3, of course, phase labels. It's a gas. That reacts with NO2, which is also a gas. Oops. Then we have a chemical reaction. So our O3 here and our NO2 here collide with one another. We see that collision. We are left with an O2. O2. Don't forget your phase labels. And then NO3 is our other product. Right? So this is that O2, this is the NO3. And again, we don't really, it's interesting to look at the other things, but we don't need to get caught up on those. We're just looking for what is the thing, the two species that are colliding, what is the product of the reaction. That's all we need to focus on. And then of course, making sure it's balanced, always a good idea, but it should be balanced if we're talking about, this elementary reaction of just two things colliding with one another. And let's go and check it. I guess we should check it and make sure we got it right. And there we go. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if there's any questions in the comments. Thanks so much.